fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Hello, welcome, episode 5, Fuel My Fire podcast.
Episode 5, motherfucker!
Look at us going places. Still the Gryphon mind.
Still the Gryphon, still here, we still love it.
Some normality has returned, as you know, I'm back. You can hear the famous Irish one.
Yes, finally, the structure. So none of you have to listen to me butchering band names anymore. Failing to mention a lot of different things that I should have mentioned last time.
It's all good. We'll mention some of them now. It's all good. Don't worry, it's all good.
It's alright. Daddy's home, it's okay.
Yeah, it's back to normal for now. There's other fun things coming as well, so don't worry.
We got some more really fun. We got some more interviews planned, guys. We've got some more different things, and it's definitely stay tuned because we've got some really more interesting people to talk to and different bands to talk to and stuff. So that's gonna be really fun.
And hopefully our listeners enjoyed the last episode.
Yeah,
guys, Cruelty Circuit, very cool. Thank you again for listening. That was it was good to have you on, and I think it's gone down well. So I think it's
100%.
Yeah, we'll do it again, and hopefully people enjoyed it.
Not quite so chaotic as the last one, though.
Maybe don't be drinking 15% pints.
Wow,
tangents,
peep show quotes, everything.
It's good. Carnage, it's always good. So, yeah, how you doing? Been a while. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been good, still working away, tattooing away, girl, boy, goth tattooing, still around. A lot of days. Actually, it's been good, actually. I've been very blessed, luckily, with a lot of clients who are really trusting me with, like, bigger projects, like back pieces and sleeves and stuff. I've got, this will make sense to some listeners, but maybe not to others. Somebody has booked in to do a Darkest Dungeon themed sleeve with me, so I get to, it's a game, very good game, with amazing artwork.
That's cool.
And somebody wants a full sleeve of like all the characters and bosses from it, which is going to be
do you have full reign in it, or is giving you the
much,
print?
Yeah. Darkest Dungeon, for those of you who know, is a very cool game with very cool artwork. So, yeah, that's me,
that's
basically.
Man, good.
Still gay, still mentally ill.
Don't think that's ever going to change, is it?
Nah, not really.
So it'll be episode 500 and you're like,
What about you, Deuce? You've just come back from a stag do.
I have, and I left my liver there.
Hey.
It's yeah, we may not do a beer review today because I'm quite fragile.
You've got one in front of you, though.
Well, it's only one.
You can still drink it and review it.
I mean, it's gone down very slowly, but I could.
To be fair, listeners, just to say, like, I'm not drinking this month because I'm having a little detox month. And poor old Tom here, I'm not going to lie, normally, by this point, when we're actually sat down to record, we've normally had, like, probably somewhere between, like, kind of 3, maybe 4 pints or drinks each.
Yeah.
This time I've drunk nothing. Tom has literally drunk an inch and a half of beer in the last hour, which is unheard of the entire time that I've known him. So,
and anyone of my other friends would say exactly the same. It's like, who are you? You're refusing beer.
Yeah, I can tell that you're definitely on the
hurt wagon, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, maybe not a beer review this time because the sheer thought of saying beer is kind of enough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
what do you think of beer? What do you think of the?
We may have to edit out some of the pig squeals. What you been listening to last few weeks? What's been?
Oof, what have I been listening to? Literally, I've been listening to. There's something that's come up on my radar very recently, which I think I sent to you as well, Danii, called like the Poetic Edda, which is like it's I can't remember this year. I've totally forgotten the 2 band names now, but it's basically 2 bands where it's like a synth orchestra conductor person coming together with a deathcore band and basically making like deathcore that has like classical vibes in it.
I like when people can do that.
It's like
because it works.
It's like just a 5-track like EP thing they've just released called the Poetic Edda.
Yeah,
and it's very good. We're enjoying that a lot.
How did you come across that? That seems very out there.
Honestly, you know what it was? I was scrolling through some like it was either like reels or shorts or whatever, and there's some because obviously because of the music, I like the algorithm throws it. It was a guy. It was like some reaction guy reacting to the death growls that were in one of the songs,
right?
Like the breakdown. And I just heard the breakdown and the growling, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks cool." And then I followed through and checked up on the band, and that's where it was from.
I find those reaction videos quite weird.
They're they're
like you're watching a
alright.
video of someone else
I mean,
watching something.
Yeah, I mean, it's more just like, obviously, like the deathcore stuff. I mean, you could say it's a bit of a problem because now a lot of people argue that some, especially within deathcore specifically, mostly, is that idea of like the heavier the beat down, the heavier the breakdown, and the more gargled and like blood curdling, the growling, like it's almost like people are like trying to like up the ante all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what it becomes less about song structure
And just
more
how
about, like,
dirty and filthy you can go.
But like how filthily slow you can do your
Fart noises.
breakdown. Yeah. Thank you. What else? Listening to some Fat Dog. That's not metal though. They've got their new EP out. They're very good. Weird synth music.
I see some structure coming with this week for you. Bit of synth going on.
Yeah. Bit of synth stuff. Yeah. I don't know what else. I mean, I've been still listening to God Complex. Did I talk about them last time? I don't think I did I? No, God Complex, yeah. Really good. Especially well, it's not even a new album anymore. I think they released it beginning of this year, end of last year. Very, very good. Like, it's a bit, they're kind of like blackened thrash. I mean, some people liken them a bit to Knock Loose, but I think that's doing them a disservice. Because I think that they're not like Knock Loose.
Knock Loose aren't classed as black and trash neither.
Yeah, but, you know, like, I don't know, like, it's, they've kind of got, like, metally core, but it's just, like the kind of structures of some of the breakdowns and stuff like that, but, like, they're so, like, extreme aggressive that it's, like, you know what I mean? It's more like a kind of extreme black metal kind of thrash thing that's happening. I definitely suggest them. Yeah, God Complex, very good, very good. Especially their newest album is fucking great. Like one track just goes into another track, and next thing I know, I've just like listened to the whole album again.
Always good. You don't get bored of it.
Yeah. What about you, mate? What have you been up to?
I've been listening to really weird stuff actually.
Okay.
You know when you go down a bit of a YouTube hole and then several hours later you're like,
yes.
How did I get
How
here?
am I here? Yes.
I'm not complaining that I'm here, but how did I get here? So I've been listening to a lot of Battlesnake because we mentioned them before. They're playing Bristol. They're just hilarious. Just the real cheesy, crappy videos and just outrageous fun. Highly recommend checking them out. Then I went down the road of Rinderose, which people probably know, Digging a Hole.
Yeah.
Their famous one. I love showing that video to non-metalheads of 1,000 people stood in front of them all going, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. For anyone that obviously can't see me because where we are.
The miming along to that was very, very, very funny.
Maybe we should put a clip of that in. Anyway, it's basically 1,000 metalheads stood there watching a dwarven band digging a hole.
Yeah.
And, no mosh pits, nothing. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
So, and then the other really weird one that a friend introduced me to is, I'm going to say it wrong, but Appalachian Anarchy. Banjo heavy metal.
I feel like that name rings a bell. I feel like somebody's told me about them. Yeah.
Absolutely check them out.
Yeah.
It is
like bluegrass metal.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's these
awesome.
banjos dueling away in the background with over trash.
What was that band called? They used to do covers. They used to do banjo covers and stuff. Like the really famous one, Hasty Dixie.
Oh yeah.
Remember them? Yeah, I saw them live once. They were fucking great.
Everyone said that about them. They're actually quite good
awesome.
fun.
Like they didn't have a drummer. It's just the four of them on different like stringed instruments, like doing it all. Yeah, it was really good.
Always good. They're not a thing anymore, are they?
No, I think they broke up a while ago. But yeah, obviously they were quite big, like for the covers and stuff they used to do with like Black Sabbath and stuff back in the day, and obviously AC/DC. But yeah, no, banjo stuff always works well with like heavy metal. I find
it's a stringed instrument, isn't it? So
but it's great. The banjo is always fun. I like the banjo.
Especially when they're dueling. Like,
yeah.
It's very good. So everyone go check them out.
Okay, cool.
That's been a weird one for me. One of the things I did add on my Spotify recently was Scandalline, and we were going to talk about him because we went to see him 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago,
yes.
whatever it was.
We talk about that gig. Like I said in the last episode, we talk about that gig a little bit more in depth this time because you're here.
Yeah. Venue, we'll start in the venue.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. So, like, as we mentioned in the last episode, weird fucking venue. I mean, it's a nice pub. But, like, that whole, like, it's proper, like, old school, isn't it? Just, like, with the toilets, like, basically on the stage. And they had to put up that weird, like, barrier thing to try and, like, make it. But as I mentioned, just because you've got all these, like, kind of death and black metal bands that have like multiple members, and it's just trying to squeeze them all onto like a 1-foot stage in the back of a pub where you normally like do the karaoke or the meat raffle or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe of the thing. So.
It seems like they're trying to rebrand themselves a little bit and try to get more gigs going.
Yeah. But I think a lot of pubs have realised that now, though. Is that
they have.
Pubs are getting squeezed left and right, and so bringing in extra punters that might not be your usual crowd to get drunk watching music that maybe you wouldn't normally put on. Yeah, they've kind of learned that. Yeah,
and if anyone really knows metalheads, we normally like drink.
We like to drink. We do like to drink. Or that, that's sometimes the letdown in the hardcore scene is you've got too many non-drinkers and too many too many straight edge kids. No. It's the issue. They're not even that. It's all the straight edge kids and stuff. I mean, straight edges. Fair shout obviously to all of you that are sober out there. But yeah, like if you're a pub and you want to bring in extra revenue, then I think it makes a lot of sense to bring in, especially metalheads. Like they do tend to show up and drink a lot of beer.
Well, yeah, we're like bad smell, really, aren't we? Like, there's something over there. What's going on? Let's go over there.
Let's go over there. Let's have a look at this.
That sounded like a bass drum.
But the gig itself, I really enjoyed it.
So did I.
I thought all the bands were like really, really good.
I wasn't a huge fan of the opening act. They looked really bored.
I missed that a bit, didn't I? Because I was a little bit late. I kind of caught the tail end of it. Do they look bored? I didn't realise.
Yeah, it was like they didn't like each other at all. It was just didn't want to be there.
That's a shame.
Scandalline came out.
What were they called?
I'd have to go back through my notes.
That's all right. No.
Apia? Something like
that. But to agree with you, I think Scandalline for me were like probably my favourite of the night.
I love the contrast between the vocals. You kind of touched on it earlier. Like she had a very operatic kind of clean voice, and then the guitar player had these guttural vocals from hell. And the combo worked really well together. I really liked them.
Really good. Yeah.
And Godtrim, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought they were great. I thought they were really solid. Like you can tell they've got a lot of members that are like
been there for a while
and kind of like know their way around their instruments and stuff in that sense, but also like kind of they still have the presence. What I liked about them as well is that like even on like the back of a pub kind of stage, they still had the presence. They kind of brought it a little bit,
We said about that in one of our episodes, didn't we? That when there's it was actually the last one with the Cruelty Circuit. When you actually just click with guys and you're actually having fun, like it helps a lot.
You can see it on stage. You can see it on stage when bands like really get on and kind of have that chemistry together. I think the issue for me was it wasn't any of the band's fault that spoiled the gig. Is that thing of unfortunately you're stood there like enjoying the music, trying to get a bit of a headbang on and all this, and then there's people constantly trying to push past you to get to the toilets. You know what I mean? So
and people looking at you kind of going, why is there so many long-haired people inside my pub?
Yeah, exactly, but it's also like more just like, like I was like trying to stand there and then some like guy with a massive backpack on who's like obviously just showed up on his bike, like kind of like has to push past, some like biker like guys to like push past some bicyclists has to push past me to get to the toilets, which is like I get it, but also it does ruin the atmosphere of like enjoying the band a little bit.
There was a funny one with that because one of the Godtrim guys was the guy that was doing the tickets. And obviously, you get your stamp, you walk past him kind of thing. And this kid came in doing exactly that. So he put his backpack on, walked in, and next the fella comes over to him and kind of goes, do you have a ticket? The guy's like, oh, I need a ticket. He's like, yeah, of course you need a ticket. He's like, oh no, and left. I was like, you could just stand at the front of the pub and hear it.
Just literally stand by the bar and listen to the whole gig and pretty much see the band. So
and, it was kind of funny, but his respect for it was like, oh yeah, I should have had a ticket. And I was like, well, yes, you should support the band, obviously. But the fact that like you could hear this thing for 3 streets away.
And like I said, you could literally just stand at the fucking bar and watch the entire gig for free. That's another interesting part of that pub, isn't it? It's the reality is you don't actually have to get a ticket for any of the shows. As long as you don't want to stand like right by the stage.
True.
You could just literally just sit at the back and just watch it all from, because they can't. It's just a big open doorway, isn't it? So it's a wall that's been knocked through. So it's not like
an actual room like this kind of thing.
Unless they put a curtain over it.
Oh yeah,
that's the only way that they could really do it. But then even then, like once again, because the toilets are there, they can't really stop anyone from like going through.
That's kind of a legal requirement, isn't it? So yeah, I enjoyed the gig. It was good fun.
It was alright. I'd be interested to see if they get any more gigs like that there.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting because obviously, like with the black metal stuff, like it's it was a bit of an older audience, and it was a lot more like kind of standing there and appreciating the music. What would be interesting is because it's a little bit like the Golden Lion up. Gloucester Road. But obviously they're really in like the punk and hardcore stuff.
That used to be a biker bar at one stage,
It used to be, I mean, it's still pretty like, it's really nice. It's actually a decent boozer to drink even when there's not a gig on. But I saw, like one of the big shows I saw there last year was when Municipal Waste played a secret show there.
Nice.
When they were on tour with Anthrax. And they come through, but then Municipal
playing
Waste
soon as well, which we'll bring up later.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, I mean, obviously with them it's a little bit different because their gig venues like kind of in the back and they can kind of split it off a little bit more. They can split off kind of how to get in there, so you have to like make sure you get tickets. But they still struggle with the thing that the toilets are like round behind where the stage is and stuff. So yeah, the way that they deal with it is they basically just they ticket on the door of the pub.
Yeah.
They just go like, if you're coming in tonight, then you've got to have a ticket.
That's a good way of doing it, to be fair.
But yeah,
I think the moral of it though is come out, support local bands.
Yes,
listen to the
100%.
podcast, go listen to bands, come with us, meet us there.
Go to the smaller shows and stuff. You know, like I said, you know, I found some bands like when I went to that the All Day one, and stuff, and then also the one I went to here at the Gryphon the other day. I found some bands that I really, really liked. Yeah, so it was really good.
Is that the Debt Wheelers one?
Yeah. They were great. Like I said, so funny because I've got a bad feeling that I swear they were called Long Fall Boots, but I think they've changed their name, or they had an old name and now they've changed it to Long Fall Boots. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they're called like Outcaster or something on their social media. So
really?
Yeah. So basically, I swear it said Long Fall Boots on the posters and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know whether they've changed it to that recently and it's still old on there.
The socials haven't caught up.
Yeah. But definitely support local stuff.
It's always good to find new bands and that Scandalline one. I found them on Spotify there and then, and they got like 100 follows kind of thing. Now they have 101.
It's 101, and that's all that sometimes that's what it takes. Just build it up. And they were from Spain.
They were Spanish,
Spanish, really good.
It was pretty cool. Imagine going to work and kind of going, "What do you do at the weekend?" "Oh, I just flew to Bristol and played at my band."
Yeah.
Cool.
Were they touring at all, or was it just that gig?
I think they are touring. But it's only a few select dates.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
There's sometimes those little tours like that, but that's the thing is like being in music is like it can be like that, like the kind of journeyman music thing. Like you're never going to be like you're never going to be like your band's never going to be massive. You're not going to be. You're still going to play some festivals. You're still going to play some really cool shows, and you're still going to be. But I guess it's just that idea of like knowing that you're kind of one doing it for the love of the music, obviously, and two, like you're still having a lot of fun. You still get a load of great experiences. You still get to go around the world,
exactly,
do some cool things. But maybe you're playing smaller pubs and stuff, which is still a lot of fun.
Sleep in the back of a van.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Other things, as we mentioned, Cruelty Circuit, they obviously supported Soulfly. And the podcast they were on was just before they played?
Yeah. So basically that came out it came out after, wasn't it? Because they were on the Sunday and it came out on the Friday after. Yeah, so...
so you went. Tell me all the details.
It was good. Danii was there as well. Danii, you had a really good time, didn't you, Danii? Yeah, Danii's giving a nod there. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was quite cool in a way because, like... it was only two bands, so it was literally just Soulfly and Cruelty Circuit. The Cruelty Circuit boys came out and smashed it. They got a lot of really good. They've been releasing a lot of reviews, really good reviews. A lot of people are saying that they really enjoyed them. They had a big crowd as well. Like I said, because it was like a lot of people just went straight in to go and watch. As soon as they heard music was on, everyone just trooped inside to go see what was on, basically. Especially because it's only two bands, you paid your ticket money, so
you should go see them
as well. Yeah, which sometimes can be a benefit. Like sometimes if you overload a gig with too many support acts, that's when the first two bands get like no one in the crowd because people are just like, why the fuck am I showing up at 6 o'clock?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like especially if you know the gig's going to go on later, you know that the headline band's not going to finish until like 10:30, 11 o'clock,
and we're all getting old and
tired. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, fuck it.
Sore backs and knees.
I'll show up at 7. I'll show up at 7:30.
Have a beer and still have time for the main band.
And then you still only end up seeing like the main two support bands and the main band. So sometimes overloading a gig with too many support bands can be a bit of a bad thing. It's actually something I learned back in the day doing the gigs in here and stuff. Is overloading, like because I get it. Sometimes promoters want to be nice. You're like, I really want to get the newer bands and stuff involved, but sometimes you're actually not really helping them that much because literally you're just throwing them on these bills and no one's watching them. Which
doesn't help them at all.
Not really, you make sure that you like maybe do like some staggered stuff where you kind of like give people a reason to come early. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But really good. Sorry, back to the gig. Really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cruelty Circuit came out really good. Their stand-in drummer did an amazing job. Fucking hell, couldn't tell he was the stand-in drummer. Well done to him. Cause
he only had 2 rehearsals, didn't he?
Basically, and he played really, really well.
2 rehearsals in open for Soulfly.
Yeah,
cool,
exactly,
no problem.
I know, right? Yeah. But they came out and did really, really well.
That's surprising.
They
They're very
managed
good.
to fill the space which is good because like it is a big old. The Marble Factory is just a big fucking warehouse.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like you can get lost. The sound can get lost in there if you're not really bringing it. The sound gets lost in there like really easily.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So they really brought it. Unfortunately, though, I have to say now that Cruelty Circuit are dead to me. I will never listen to them again. I don't support them in any way, shape, or form. Because Bill decided to wear a Bristol City t-shirt on stage.
Oh, boo.
So that's it now, guys. No more
Shoddy,
support from me.
shoddy.
And that's it. It's all done.
Let's give you back your
Cruelty
t-shirt.
Circuit are dead to me. Yeah, I burned mine already. I burnt my Cruelty Circuit down, joking. But yeah, no, it was really funny. They were good. And I think they got a lot of new support from that, which is really good. Really intriguing.
And well deserved.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously Soulfly came on. And honestly, like, Max has just got it, man. Like, he's still got, like... He's just got the presence, you know. As soon as he comes out on stage, he's just there.
He's a metal icon, isn't he?
Mate,
like,
he's
everyone knows him. Everyone, like, he's just got a presence for him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got the claw. Everyone show me the claw. It was funny. It was definitely an older crowd. There was still a lot of moshing. But you could definitely see some of the legs in the mosh pit started going as the gig went on. You know what I mean? But a lot of the kind of like Gen X, elder millennial crowd was definitely there, kind of reliving some of the old Soulfly days, which is great. They played really well. I mean, he's got his sons on drums.
It is, yeah.
I thought he was just a roadie. He was just like wandering around. And I was like, "Who's this skinny kid?" And they sat down behind the drum kit, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Still ask questions. Who's the skinny kid?
And then I swear down, he brought out his other son to do some vocals because he's got 3. I think, and then like one of them does guitar for like Cavalera Conspiracy. Yeah,
He does, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so like, and then he brought out his other son to like do some vocals and stuff with him on a couple of the songs, which was really cool. So that's great. I mean, the rest of the band are solid; they're always really good. He's you know, obviously they've changed over a few members over the years and stuff. Basically, you know, Soulfly is just, you know, it's Max Cavalera, whoever's coming on tour with him, basically. So, but they were really solid, really loud, really ferocious. They basically just played solidly as well. Like there was very little chat.
I like when that happens,
in between. I like it sometimes. I like a bit of, but like with him, he can get away with it once again because Soulfly have the presence and the songs that they can just start playing a riff and everyone's like, "Eye for an eye," you know, like everyone's like, because you know what the songs are, so you can kind of get away with it a bit more.
I find that in Megadeth as well. Dave Mustaine just comes out and he just rips through everything.
Yeah.
There is very little. Oh, I'd love to be here.
But
and
I think
else.
part of it was I was kind of expecting them just to play. They played over an hour. They played like an hour and 20.
Good.
Like an hour and almost an hour and a half of like material. So I suddenly realised why the gig was like, because it looked like it was going to start really early, and I was like, we're all going to be out of here by fucking 9:45. Like, do you know what I mean? And it wasn't. It was like 10:30 by the time we were like filing out. Nice. You know, so like,
what kind of set did they do? Had all the bangers,
loads of the old stuff. Yeah, all the bangers. But pretty much it was just like a much older set, wasn't it? A lot of the stuff off like the first like album, which was really really cool. Like,
I wonder, did they look at their crowd and kind of go, maybe we go back in time
I
a
think
bit.
they just know what tour it is. You know, like at the end of the day, it's like.
They're not a young band, are they?
No, they're not a young band. And to be fair, he's only just been on tour with Cavalera Conspiracy over here. So it's not like he hasn't been over in the UK recently. He like literally did that like not that like 3 months ago. He was over here, Cavalera Conspiracy, because my mate went to see him. So I think he's just like playing. Yeah, he's just playing around with it. You know, he's just playing like he's just, you know, he's got some really good musicians with him, including his kid on drums. He's really good. He genuinely is
annoyingly
really
good.
Yeah, really good drummer. Maybe his uncle's teaching him. But yeah, it was just, you could tell that it was just like, I think just having fun with it. It's almost not like a farewell tour or anything like that, but do you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, you know who we are.
Yeah.
We know we've got a fan base. We know we can tour the UK and pretty much like sell out like almost everywhere we go.
And it's going to be all that size venue.
And then once again, exactly. Like I said, Marble Factory's not a small venue. And then also like do the thing, it's like, yeah, just cool. Whichever city we go to, you tell us who you want the support to be. Like just pick a band, pick whatever the big local band is and put them on stage.
How did that come about?
Well, that's what the Cruelty Circuit guy said. Is they just obviously the promoter of that show must have either seen or been to the fact that they've sold out 2 shows here at the Gryphon back to back.
Yep.
Then gotten the Humanity's Last Breath one, smashed that.
Yeah.
And obviously must have found out they brought quite a lot of their own fans with them to that show as well. And then just from there, it's just, you know, like I said in the last week's episode, promoters talk. Promoters talk, and if all they have to do is turn around, you know, and go like, look, you put Cruelty Circuit on in front of Soulfly, they'll bring another 50 tickets with them, maybe more, you know, and that's it. Like, you know, some of the 50 tickets sold, isn't it? So, you know, I think it's just yeah, they've kind of gone out there. And plus, you do have to remember that they haven't been around for a while. Like, Bill's well known and Adam's well known. Like, you know, these guys are like, you know,
it's not their first rodeo.
No. You know, they've been in bands. They know. You know, not like they know people as in like secret handshake, give us the gig.
Yeah.
Right? But you know, they're known by promoters and people who put shows on. So yeah,
it's pretty good.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Soulfly, you know, Max still got it. You know, like I mean, once again, don't know. Maybe feel like maybe it's starting to be like this. Like I just said, it wasn't a farewell tour, obviously, but it kind of maybe had a bit of that vibe to it. Danii, do you agree? Kind of feels like, yeah, we're going to come out, we're going to play like all the hits and some of the really old stuff that we all know that you really like.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm quite glad that I went to see them. I'm glad we went to see them because I've got a funny feeling that maybe
there won't be many Soulfly tours left.
No, I don't think so. No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially because I still think that before they both get too old, they're just going to fucking get Sepultura back together somehow with him.
I don't know. There's mixed things about that.
I know. But it'll be something like they have like they're all mates now, you know, because they get on again now.
Yeah.
They're not falling out anymore. You know, they'll have some agreement.
Andres Kisses is up for the idea.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So that's my personal take on it.
Yeah. Any other gigs you've been to recently? Wasn't
no, it was just that one. Yeah, it was just that. That's the only main gig I've been to. I've been a little bit quieter on the gigs this time.
Yeah, so, me too. He was Scandalline was my last one, but I've been quite busy, so you know. There's also that.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff coming up, which I'm sure we're about to get into.
There is an ass load of stuff coming up.
Especially though. Yeah, especially this month.
Should we make starting them? Maybe?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start chopping away at it.
So a few of them that I've got here, we've mentioned it in other podcasts. It's basically just more a reminder for you because they're going to be playing before this airs.
Yes.
Which is a bit of a problem, so I won't go into too much detail. But if we can tell more people, let's do it. Why not? 13th September, we've the Grindcore Sex Massacre, which is at Moore. There's
we talked about that before, didn't we? Just before we recorded. I don't know what's going on with More Beer. More Beer's like become the home of Bristol Grindcore for some reason. Like they seem to be putting Grindcore shows on there like every other like week or whatever. So
which is good.
Yeah, it's great. I need to get down there because I love Grindcore. So I need to get down to the local Bristol Grindcore place. Go down. Apparently, guys, just go hang around More Beer and there'll be a Grindcore show on. Apparently, so
what does it help the beer? Send the big barrels and vats and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I've seen the stage. I've watched it on Instagram. It's like,
literally
it looks like
next
it's in the brewery.
It is,
yeah. It's like in the.
It's got a real cool vibe about it though.
It's
you're in a craft beer brewery.
You go into a beer brewery and then you just get some beer and then your grindcore bands come on and scream pig squeal.
Come out between the barrels.
Yeah. Just fucking go mad. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm probably actually going to go to that one, to be fair.
I'll try and make it with you as well.
We have the same day, but it's the Hardcore Punk Day at the Chelsea Inn, which is another new venue.
I know the Chelsea well.
It's in Easton,
yeah. I know the Chelsea really, really well. I've got loads of mates. I used to, because Easton used to be my old stomping ground back in the day. So I've got loads of mates who drink at the Chelsea. Chelsea's cool. I mean, it's literally, when you say a pub gig, this is like it's a floor punk
yeah.
gig. Like, it's, you know, I love them, but like we're talking like DIY or die guys, like, you know, it's you know, blown out monitors and fucking everything else. You know
nice.
what I mean? Like, which is how you want your you know, your punk and stuff to be. But no, the Chelsea's lush. I mean, it's completely mad, and people will definitely try and sell you drugs in the beer garden, you know, or be doing drugs in the toilets. And to be fair, that's part of the charm. So, you know, and also I'm not gonna like really fucking cheap to drink there.
That'll help a lot of people.
Yeah.
The current rate of things going up.
Yeah.
But yeah, bands that Anti-System, Social Experiment, Crossed, and Level Threat. So if you're aware of any of them, they might be in your scene. What else? Right, we can get into stuff that... Right, one that's definitely coming up that will just about be released as... it's on.
Yeah.
Gryphfest.
Yes.
20th, 22nd.
Yes, I tried my best to talk about Gryphfest in last week's episode. I apologise to everyone. I apologise to all the bands involved whose names I butchered. And yeah.
It's alright, John's told you off for it.
Yeah, John gave me a bit of a telling off about how much I fucked that up. Definitely a special apology to Aeffect from definitely not Scandinavia, as I've now found out. From somewhere
Northeast England.
Somewhere in Northeast England. Accused of being Scandinavian and having a Scandinavian name. I'm just dyslexic, alright. It's a learning difficulty. Okay?
Don't laugh at me.
God damn it.
So I won't come into too much detail, but we have Pirate Day on the 20th, a Doom Sludgy Day on the 21st, and then an Extreme Death Day on the 22nd.
Yeah.
We have Red Rum, Pirates Metal, Hell Death Fury,
Well, I've heard are very good. I've got quite a few friends who want to see them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the Friday. That's the 20th.
Yeah.
The Doom Sludgy Day is Horror, Godless Sons, Battalions, and Witch Sorrow.
Yeah.
Witch Sorrow are quite a big band, actually.
Yeah, Witch Sorrow are pretty heavy hitters as well, aren't they?
That's quite a big one to have on there. And then the Death Day, I'm going to get this one wrong, so I'm going to have to apologise. Merc?
See, it's not as easy. Not as easy as everyone's making
It's like
out.
Mark with a Y.
Not as easy as everyone's making out now, is it? No.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's the Extreme Day, so I think there's something for everyone, which is quite a good balance.
That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's literally coming up this weekend, isn't it? No, not this
20th,
weekend.
22nd.
Yeah, the weekend after.
Weekend after.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's come down to Gryphon, support Gryphon, buy all the beer that's here.
14th birthday.
Exactly.
14 years.
14.
14 years, baby.
And if we don't support it, we won't be having another 14, so support it.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah. I think the tickets are selling fairly fast now as well. So
That's good.
definitely, like, get in there if you can. I mean, you might save some tickets on the door. And obviously, like, it's a bit like seeing, like, who's upstairs and who's downstairs. Sometimes it can end up, I think, where you kind of, like, you know, it's a bit malleable and, like, just get a ticket or show up and get a ticket and you'll be all right, you know. It kind of depends, you know.
Totally agree. Something else on the same day. As I said, there's a lot coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's a new metal club night starting.
Yeah.
Which I was it piqued my interest a little bit. It's called Chaos Sphere, even. Chaos Sphere, go on.
Yeah.
PH, here we go. And it's in Four Quarters. You know, the arcade bar in Park Street.
Really?
Yeah. I had to look it up numerous times. I was like, surely that's not the right bar.
But I've noticed metal nights popping up all over the place. Like I just went to one that's normally in Brighton. I went there. Was it not last Saturday? The Saturday before. What was it called? Like Apocalyptic Circus or something like that. And it's like
Great name.
3 rooms of metal, but down in like what's it called? Basement 42 or Basement 45. It's literally just down the road, across the road from the Queen's Shilling by the Hatchet. Like normally it's all like kind of more like hip hop stuff and like drum and bass and all that kind of stuff. I haven't been there in years because and I went there and there was one there as well. So I'm noticing metal nights are kind of
Seem to be
coming
becoming
back,
popular.
making a bit of a comeback. Yeah,
Which I'm fine with.
This is great.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's covered in the usuals. You've got your new metal, the best going metalcore and stuff as well. Yeah, it's got like obviously stuff like Limp Bizkit, Gojira, Knock Loose. That's kind of the decapitated kind of some of the bands that are claiming to be playing. So I have no idea what it's going to be like because it's an arcade bar. I don't know if they're going to just be playing it in the background, if they're going to remove some of the games and set up an area.
It'll be interesting for sure. It'll be interesting
because I don't think they have like a basement or an attic kind of bar.
No. I haven't been there. You know, I think I've been there when it wasn't the arcade bar.
Yeah,
I think
Ram.
Something
maybe?
like that, yeah.
Anyway,
getting lost in the history of like the fuzzy history of like where have I boozed on Park Street when I've been really drunk? Have I been in that building before?
And you go in sober and go, no, I don't think I have. I have.
When the door starts going, oh, what are you doing in here? You're barred.
Why? What did I do? Yeah. So that could be quite a fun one to check out.
Yeah.
Then on the 22nd, again, the same weekend as Gryffest, there is the Death Metal Hardcore Day that I was telling you about before.
Yeah.
So that's got Fetal Juice, Street Soldier, Pint Glass, and Party Cannon.
Pint Glass are mad, yeah. See, and that's the Party Cannon gig.
And that's on the 22nd.
That's on the Saturday, is it?
Sunday.
That's the same Gryffon. Oh,
yeah.
That's a killer, man.
So there's a lot happening that weekend.
Because Pint Glass are mad. Pint Glass are basically like if a bunch of English construction workers did deathcore, but like with hardcore vocals. So,
interesting.
Yeah, they're really weird, and they all dress in high vis, and they all look like they've just come off the construction site, and they've been down the boozer and had a few too many Stellas, and then decided to start a band.
Love it.
So you're not sure whether they're going to start screaming hardcore vocals or like sexually
YMCA.
harassing women like from the scaffold. You know what I mean? No, fair show. But no, they're very good. Like, I understand why they fit in with Party Cannon so well, because Party Cannon obviously are very funny, like bro metal band, you know. So they do a lot of that kind of stuff. Like their meme game is very strong on Instagram as well. I've got to give it to Party Cannon. I had to share one of them. It's like the lead singer. They've two-tiered photo of him. It's like, this next song's about my favourite gender-neutral activity, eating ass. It's like brilliant. So I shared that. I got a like from them from it. That's a real killer because I really want to go to the Party Cannon gig.
Yeah.
Because I really like Party Cannon and I really want to see them. but I feel torn about that.
Because we should be here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to be here on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking killer. That is. That's a shame. I hate. You know what it's like, listeners at home. Like sometimes you get too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
The gig stack, and then suddenly you're having to make choices about where you want to go to and what you want to do.
In fact, it happened here with the Scandalline gig that we were talking about.
Yeah.
It actually took people from here to go to it.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is a shame.
Yeah, exactly. I used to always do that as a promoter as well. I was constantly worried. I remember I was setting up this really big gig. Really looking forward to it, and then found out that another local promoter had booked Dying Fetus to play, and I was like, on the same day, and I was like, I'm going to lose. I'm going to have to lose my whole fucking show. I had to get hold of all the bands and try and reschedule it. It was a nightmare.
That's the downside of it is someone's going to lose out.
Yeah. But no, Party Cannon will be really good, I can't lie. But Gryphfest will be great as well. Both of them.
So that's the extreme day. So that was
which is annoyingly the day I kind of want to go to the most, I'll be real.
Yeah.
Like, even though I'm going to be free on the Saturday and I'll probably still come here, like, I gotta be honest, it's the Friday and the Sunday are the 2 days that I'm kind of eyeing up the
For
most.
me, I'm the same, the Friday and the Sunday.
Yeah. So
with the pirate metal and extreme metal, can't go wrong.
Exactly.
A little bit more, so we're pushing out a little bit now. 23rd of September, the Exchange. Oh, you'll be happy about this one.
Yeah.
You have a ticket for it, I think, as well.
Spy. Yeah, Spy.
With Stiff Meds, Perp Walk, Uncertainty Intentions.
Stiff Meds are mental. I saw they were the main support for Jesus Peace when they played at the Exchange.
Jesus
Stiff
Peace.
Meds, Jesus Peace. Oh, Jesus Peace are terrifying. Oh, they're so heavy. Oh my God. When I saw them at Outbreak for the first time, it's like they're so extreme. Like, there's only certain, like, obviously Outbreak is very infamous for, like, that you could sign away your rights and then you can go into the main bit where there's no barrier by the main stage, because you have to sign a waiver basically saying if you get fucked up with your own broken, then it's my fault. And obviously, it kicked off.
That should be the same everywhere.
Yeah, but there were a few bands that, like, really kicked off, but, like, when Jesus Peace came on, they're just so heavy. They came on halfway through, like, the Saturday, and you just watch, like, this kind of tsunami of kids just, like, almost flip on top of each other. Like, it just got so... I was, like, straight away, I was like, oh, and I'm moving several feet back now before I get fucking absolutely...
Kicked in the head by some new rocks.
Exactly, yeah. No, so Stiff Meds, Stiff Meds are really good. Obviously, Perp Walk, I've talked about them before. Might be having Paul Collier on the podcast soon, so he's the lead singer of Perp Walk. That'll be really good, and... they're on tour in Canada at the moment. But yeah, Stiff Meds are heavy as shit. Like, they're really, really good. They're more like thrashy. I think you'd enjoy them,
Yeah?
Yeah, they're more like kind of thrashy. I think they're from Liverpool.
Scandinavia, right?
Well, all bands are Scandinavian now. They might as well be Scandinavia up north. Hey! It's too cold. It's too cold up there.
And Spy?
Yeah.
You were a fan of
Spy
Spy?
are great, yeah. They're from London, I want to say, but I saw them at Outbreak as well. They headlined the second stage. They're just really good. Just like kind of post-hardcore, so like not quite... It's not like straight up like just beat down hardcore. They're a little bit more like they play around with it quite a bit more. But yeah, really, really good.
Sounds like they're the least heavy of the
in a way, yeah. Weirdly enough, now you say that, I'd actually probably when it comes to like just heaviness of kind of like aggressive, like just Spy are aggressive, but you know what I mean. Like I would say, Stiff Meds are probably like more classically like aggressive, like music. Whereas Spy definitely play around with it a little bit more, the kind of more post-hardcore kind of way. But hopefully it'll be a good show. I'm really hoping, I hope Bristol kind of brings it a little bit. Like, I just don't want it to be
not the usual Bristol crowd.
I just don't want it to be lackluster. Yeah, like, I've got to be honest, like, Jesus Piece really upset me with that. Like, there was some kids really trying to go for it, and it's just... And I get it, because I don't help either, because I'm old, so I fucking sit at the back. I stand at the back now anyway, with my...
Yeah, but we all have back pains and knee pains and stuff now.
Yeah.
So,
but I just feel like for this Spy one, I might have to take my glasses, put them off my glasses case and start shoving some people around and stuff just to get things going a little bit, I just don't want to see another, horseshoe crowd, just watching bands, well, hardcore show, fucking, do something.
I'll have a pint of your finest gin, please.
Yeah, exactly, well, yeah. Everyone there in their fucking North Face jackets and their beanies. Yeah.
Standard metal.
No, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be good. Bristol does know how to bring it when they want to, so I think this will be a good show.
So that's the Exchange. I don't know if it's up or lower.
No, it'll be upstairs. No, they're cramming Spy into the cellar. Jesus fucking Christ, that'd be insane. Have you been downstairs?
No.
It's like this. It's like as wide as this table.
Which for listeners is about 2 foot.
Yeah, it's I'm over exaggerating, but you know what I mean. It's literally just like a little corridor bit downstairs. Right. Just put a stage at the end of. There's like fuck all room in there.
A bit more harder to throw shapes if there's walls on each side that you can touch.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, good. I'm going to check that out too. Next one, so 25th of September, so all in the same week again. I looked at my phone, it's insane. It's every night of the week.
Yep.
This is a big one. So if you
the
don't
one
have
we've been
tickets,
talking about for a while, isn't it?
It is. It's probably episode 0. It was maybe 1. We brought it up.
Yeah.
So Cannibal Corpse, Municipal Waste, and there's 2 others I forgot to write down.
The other support bands, I'm sure they're also very, very good.
Yeah.
Fucking YouTube's advertising this one to me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good old algorithm, isn't it?
YouTube ads, Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you have a ticket?
Yeah, I got a ticket. Yeah, I got a ticket. Yeah, but YouTube's advertising this one to me. Like they're going all out on this tour. Like they're really pushing it. Yeah. So.
There is still limited tickets available too, but they're seated up in the stalls somewhere.
Seated. Yeah, it's so funny that once again, like we've said it once, we've said it before. Like the big thing about this show is just everyone in Bristol's really interested to see how
an extreme band like Cannibal Corpse are going to be in a posh,
the posh theatre. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I don't even know if they can move seats around. If
no, they can. Apparently, John, the landlord here, told me that apparently a bunch of the seats go into the ground, so that's what creates the standing area.
That's pretty cool.
Obviously, they must keep some of them up for seating. But I have no idea because I haven't even been in the main room of the Beacon yet since it's reopened. Have you been in there, Danii? No, so I have no idea.
Nor have I.
So I don't know. I don't even know what the shape of it. I remember it back in the day. When I've ended up going there, and it was all seated then, back in years and years ago. But no idea what it's going to be like now.
Pretty cool if they've got a convertible kind of venue where they can move seats.
But if they're going to do shows like this, well, like we said before, Opeth kind of makes sense there. By the way, listen, Opeth are playing there next year. Opeth kind of makes sense there because I don't know, you could sit down and listen. Maybe Opeth fans will get angry with me if I say that. You could sit down and listen to Opeth. You can't sit down and listen to Cannibal Corpse or Municipal Waste.
No,
I just don't understand. I don't understand.
And people won't.
People won't. Exactly. Yeah.
Even if you put a seat in front of it, what's that? I'll just stand in front of it.
Stand on that. And windmill my heart to my heart's content.
That's an early one as well because there's 5 bands.
Yeah.
The gates are at 5:30.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So
kind of glad I'm not drinking for that one, to be brutally honest. Because I just go there and spend like £100 before the bands would even come on. You know what I mean? So definitely, it's for the listeners, pre-drink before you go to that show. Pre-drink,
come to the Gryphon, drink. Come to the Gryphon. Here.
Get your drink on in the Gryphon and then go down the road to there because you are going to get hammered £8 a time for a drink. It's a pretty expensive venue to drink in.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, metalheads like to drink, so they'll probably be pushing the pint.
Pardon?
Oh, that sounded a bit
hiccuping on my Coca-Cola then.
Did I not tell you I put rum in it?
Oh, don't do that, mate. That sets me back because then now
you have to start the month again.
Just have to start drinking again.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm intrigued. I think it's going to be a really fun show. A lot of people are going.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know are going. So I think it's quite a big community one in the sense of we're going to recognise a lot of people there.
So that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to talking about that one because there's a lot to happen in that.
Yeah.
I'm nearly done, which is good. 26th September, Battlesnake at the Exchange.
Yes, talked about that one. Yeah.
I'm 100% going. I think we should go because it's going to be funny.
Okay.
It's Queen mixed with Judas Priest.
Okay. I mean, you're kind of saying, I've got to be honest, haven't listened to them.
Oh, you didn't listen to I Am Vomit?
Man. No. I know. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. In a weird way, I'm quite intrigued to do the thing where I kind of go in a bit blind and it's just I'll just take your word for it, go to the gig and see what I think.
And then be really amazed, go, oh my God, why didn't I know before?
Why didn't I listen to them from before? Tom was so right about everything.
What did you say all the time?
Yeah.
And then the last one, if I remember rightly, our picture for the all the socials of us standing together, you were wearing a Harriet t-shirt, right?
I am, yes, yeah.
So they're doing an album launch at the Exchange.
I just fucking shat the bed on it. I saw them announce it and I was like, I'll buy my tickets next week. Sold out.
Is it sold out?
Sold out.
Oh.
Sold out ages ago, yeah.
Well then.
Because Harriet are technically a Bristol band. Because the bassist, lead singer, lives in Bristol. I've bumped into him a few times. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. The first time we saw, he came into the Gryphon, and sometimes, very rarely, I help out behind the bar on a Saturday at the Gryphon. If they're a bit low on staff, and I want to make a bit. Well, also it's a free night for me to get drunk because if you work at the Gryphon, you get bought drinks all the time, which is great. And also if you're pretty and hot like me.
And also if you just happen to be having a good time, like you on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
everyone gets drinks.
Yeah, exactly. And he came in, and me and Finn, one of the bar staff, were behind the bar, and me and Finn had gone to see them. We'd gone to Finn. We'd gone to see them. He's listening. we got to see them at Strange Brew like months ago, when they did their little headline tour.
Strange Brew's the coffee shop, right?
Yeah, well, no, it's not. It's a venue in general. They do a lot of stuff. They got a bar though. Yeah, they do loads of bits. It's got a load of space. I've seen loads of really good bands there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes in, and I'm like to Finn. I'm like, that's the guy from Harriet. And Finn's like, no, it's not. And it's like, poor guy's just waiting for a drink. Me and Finn had just stood there with our arms fully staring at him. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And I pulled up my phone, and he's just stood there waiting for a drink. And I'm just behind the bar. I pull up a picture of Harriet, zoom in on his face, and just hold it up, like, next to his head.
Is this you?
I was just like, see, it is him. And Finn's like, oh, yeah, it is him. And the poor guy's just stood there going, like, can I...
I'm going to a different bar.
Can I get a drink, please? Just like... Anyway, but I bumped into him. I bumped into him at the Jesus Peace show.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy. So yeah, love Harriet. I love them. I really like their music. I think they just brought that really heavy, crunchy, nasty, doomy sound.
Have you heard any of the new stuff that's on
the
new album?
New single. New single's great.
Yeah?
No. Yeah, so the album's not out yet.
Oh, well, I assume it's on the 27th of September.
Yeah. So I think that's when it's coming out. I honestly can't wait. Like, their music's great. It's fucking just heavy, nasty, like just crunchy, fucking, like doomy kind of inspired, like just heaviness. It's great. But they've still got a bit of pace to it, and the double vocals and they're well worth seeing, and a band I'm genuinely happy to see are doing better and better. Playing the festivals, playing this, playing that, really getting up there. I've got a lot of time for Harriet, and I really like their stuff. But yeah, so if we want to go see them, it's the show that I got wrong. We have to go see them supporting fucking shit. Fit for an Autopsy. Fit for an Autopsy and Silosis. They're the first band.
And Throne, right?
And Throne. That's.
I'm not going to let it go.
While she sleeps. Throne is supporting, which I'm still not sure if I want to go to because I don't want to pay
to see what she sleeps
prices just to see Throne as much as I love them. Also, I've got a bad feeling it's the O2, so I'm not sure.
And as we say every episode, fuck the O2.
Fuck the O2. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's it. A lot of gigs this month. A lot of gigs.
So there's a few big ones coming up as well. Unless you know any more local ones.
I don't off the top of my head. It seems it's calmed down now.
It
finally.
has.
As we head into September, finally people are chilling out about putting so many fucking shows on constantly that we can all kind of maybe... Well, I say that. We've just literally sat here for like fucking half an hour talking about shows that are on in September. But, you know what I mean? It feels like it's calming down a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like one of the big ones, I've only got 3, maybe?
Yeah.
So Spirit Box have announced their only UK show next year.
That new song is heavy as shit.
I have just to say, that's the other thing about them, that they've gone heavy with it, haven't they?
Yeah. So they're only playing one UK show. What is it?
First and only UK date. It's 13th of February in London, Alexandra Palace.
Wow, London.
So,
fuck. So I like Spirit Box, but it's like, do I like Spirit Box enough to travel all the way to London to see them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, especially with the money and stuff, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, it'd be nice to do more than just London.
Yeah, well, hopefully it just means that they're probably getting ready to release the album, and then they'll release the album maybe end of this year, and then they'll go on the main tour next year, so they'll hopefully... This is them building up to them
pre-tour kind of.
Yeah, it's just probably them like they'll do a load of new material at this one show that they're doing, and then that almost like an album release, and then they'll announce that next year they'll do a tour, they'll do the festival circuit, they'll do a bunch of stuff. Because I would like to see them again. I haven't seen them in a while. I would really like to see them again. I do really like Spirit.
I was so surprised at their heavy stuff, how heavy it is.
Yeah.
If that wasn't tempting enough, you've got Periphery and Straight Pat.
Oh, Straight from the Path. I love Straight from the Path.
They're all the supports.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, really? Straight from the Path supporting?
Yeah.
Oh, Periphery as well. That's actually a really good lineup. Straight from the Path are sick. They're really
I don't know.
Live. Straight from the Path, really good, like, hardcore band. Funny enough, kind of dare put ourselves at Fuel for My Fire in the same breath as the drummer does. He's an English guy, does a podcast called the Downbeat Podcast, which is probably one of the other big, like, heavy music. Probably like one of the big heavy music podcasts that's kind of out there now, because he interviews. Obviously, he knows a lot of people, and he interviews like a lot of.
Because he's playing with big bands. So.
Yeah. To be fair to him, it started out. It was just him talking to other drummers. It kind of started out as like a drummers talking to drummers, like drum tech podcast. And then it's obviously like expanded out from there, but it was like
That's got to be real nerdy.
well, believe you me, listening to first like the early episodes, it's really nerdy. Like just drummers like getting really.
Bought a new kick drum the other day.
Talking about click tracks and all, it's all going over my head, and I'm like, I don't understand any of what these guys are talking about. But
here's a stick, hit it harder.
It was really interesting because like drummers are some of the musicians that get moved around the most in bands.
They're rare,
so,
aren't they?
Half of them have played for like. So you'll interview one guy who like played for like Onslaught, let's say, and then it's like, oh yeah, and I also like did a round with Slayer, or I did this, or I did that, or I did, you know what I mean? Like they get these guys that just ended up playing for like all these fucking.
I think that's the thing though. If you're a metal drummer, you're a rare breed,
and a good one as well.
Yeah,
like, you are a rare breed. But yeah, anyway, so Straight from the Path are very good. You should definitely give them a go. They're a really, really fun band. Really, really good. Really good, like kind of politically as well. They're a bit like Rage Against the Machine-y. Yeah. Kind of like hardcore Rage Against the Machine. And fair shout to them. They did on their last tour when I saw them at SWX headline, because they had the big single called Guillotine. They actually had a full-size guillotine on stage.
Imagine getting that through the airport.
Pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
So what, did you sharpen your suitcase?
Yeah. Just massive.
No.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Don't touch it, you lose a hand.
That sounds like a really good gig. That's a really good lineup. It's just a shame that it's just a one-off and it's in London.
I suspect it's going to go quick as well. I think I only saw an announcement for today or yesterday.
No, it's not the biggest venue either.
No.
It's big.
I like
it's
that
big,
venue,
but it's not
actually.
like massive. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
I suspect that'll go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole Ticketmaster bullshit. Oh. And the other big one that I came across is the Pagan Fest, which they're not doing Bristol, so I know we're doing the whole Bristol thing here, but they are doing multiple dates in UK, Birmingham.
What's Pagan Fest?
It's a thing that happened years ago, but it's multiple bands all doing kind of folky, kind of fun metal.
Oh, like folk metal-y kind of stuff. Okay, cool. That's nice.
The lineup's fantastic. So you've got Elven King, Heidi Folk, Tyr, T-Y-R? I don't know how people say that.
John will be at that. John will
He'll
be at that.
there.
John, the landlord of the Gryphon here, he loves folk metal. He fucking adores folk metal.
And then we've Insuferum and Ailstorm.
Oh, really?
So it's a big lineup.
Ailstorm. That's mad. Yeah.
So yeah, that's multiple dates January next year.
Are we allowed to like Ailstorm anymore?
What have Ailstorm done?
Are they the pirate ones?
Yeah.
Didn't they get cancelled? I'll have to look that up one second. I don't want to say anything in case it's the wrong band.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so. Well, anyway, yeah. So yeah, we do some big news.
Big fucking news. Come on, we know what we're going to start with.
I mean, the internet's falling apart over it, so I guess we're going to go with Linkin Park, right?
Let's talk about Linkin Park.
So for all of those that are under a rock and have no access to the internet,
don't know who Linkin Park is.
Firstly, don't know who Linkin Park is. Secondly, haven't realised they have a new singer. Yeah. And thirdly, that half the rest of the band left because they don't really agree with the whole thing. So yeah, they have a new singer who is a bit controversial himself, but I think people are looking. You know, the whole Scientology thing is.
You go first.
So yeah, well, it can be a bit tamer than you. The Scientology thing, like, I don't know how big of a fan she is of it. Like, if she's just in it or associated, whatever. The whole supporting the rapist fella is also a bit weird. But I think
trigger warning, guys. Unfortunately, this story does involve us having to talk about sexual assault and rape and stuff. So, yeah,
probably some sensitive topics coming up.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting one. I was talking to one of my friends about it in the Stag, and like everyone knows Linkin Park. We all had spiky hair and chains hanging off our.
But that's the thing. Linkin Park are one of those bands that like even normies know about Linkin Park. Like Linkin Park can come on, and like even the lads in football shirts and all that sing it.
We'll know it, absolutely.
They know Crawling, they know all of it. Like, they know, like Linkin Park managed to do that thing where they bridged
everything.
Like everything. Do you know what I mean?
100% agree, yeah.
The Jay-Z album that they did crossed them even into the hip-hop world, when Jay-Z did the album with them of their tracks and stuff. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? They're one of those bands that managed to literally do that thing where they appeal to everyone. Like, everyone knows Linkin Park, don't they?
So, yeah, the kind of controversy is obviously Chester killed himself, and, that's kind of was the end of him. He was their sound.
Yeah, he was. I mean, arguably, obviously, what's he called again? I always forget.
Mike Shinoda.
Mike Shinoda, obviously, is the other founder of the band. I understand that part of it, where he kind of, he is the other part of Linkin Park.
Well, his view is very much like, other bands have done it. Why can't Linkin Park? You've replaced the singer. Yes. And to be fair to them, they've picked someone, they probably didn't know about the Scientology and all that beforehand.
You say that.
Maybe, yeah.
You say that. You think a band as big as Linkin Park would have maybe done a little bit of a background.
Bit of research.
Maybe done a little bit of research on also you carry on.
Yeah, I think my friend said it well to me at the weekend. He was like, if they got someone who sounded exactly like Chester,
it would have
been worse. Yeah. So they've gone for a very different sound.
And I love, and I hate to bring it up. Funny enough, on the last podcast, we talked about the whole thing of like female front, like calling metal bands female fronted bands and stuff. But on the other hand, you have to give them a bit of credit for literally like going, slightly out of the box of like, let's just not get another guy in just because it's a guy and Chester was a guy. Let's actually.
I wouldn't have liked to have done that role. Filling his shoes is going to be horrible.
Yeah, it's impossible. So instead of trying to fill the shoes, you get somebody else who has their own.
And they do it differently.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Trigger, go.
Okay, so
set you up nicely.
I'll take my glasses off quickly.
Oh, it's getting real serious.
Oh, yes. So I don't always want to come across as like the negative Nelly on this podcast. And I know it's because I'm the one who sits here and gets upset about bands or artists that I personally, like, not even personally, like, actively aren't very nice people. But, and I hate to always... I know that I end up sounding like the person who comes in, like, shits all over the parade a little bit, sometimes, like, with the Marilyn Manson stuff or with other things, and I know that it's... But, my moral compass is always kind of there and, like, all like...
It's okay to have a moral compass and views.
It's good, yeah, but, like, I have ended up in arguments with people, like, around things like Pantera. Like, I personally, steadfastly, like, no, you shouldn't, be supporting or listening to Pantera. Sorry, I know, I love Pantera. I own multiple Pantera CDs. But, like, those kinds of things. Like, it's wrong, I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. So, with this, even though I obviously just said all that about the direction of the band and stuff, the reality is, and you mentioned the Scientology, we have to break this down. We do. We really do, because it is actually, like, quite important, right? One, Scientology itself is not just, like, a weird... Like, I get that sometimes it gets played off a bit. It's like, it's just a bit of a weird cult. Go and watch, and I recommend this to both of you as well, and anyone listening, there's an amazing documentary that came out quite a few years back now called Going Clear. Go and watch that. It's absolutely fascinating. It's also terrifying, right? Scientology is not just some weird cult that has, like, celebrities in it. And allegations, pretty severe allegations of, like, child sex trafficking, multiple accounts of, like, sexual assault and things like that, obviously.
Yep.
Even murder. They're basically, funny enough, and people will be like, all the other major religions do that. Yeah, they do. And that's basically the thing about Scientology, is it's like another major religion. Yeah. It really has become that, and it's become that very, 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 very quickly. And they literally do the same things that all the other major religions do, vis-a-vis hiding a lot of really horrific shit that their members do.
In association of the religion.
In association with literally, giving down from the thing of the religion. So that's one thing really important. So when we say, and I've forgotten her name now, what's she called again? The new singer?
Emily Armstrong.
Emily Armstrong, right. So when you can't just say, oh, she's a Scientologist, that's her, like, kind of, religious view, and that should be separate. The issue is it can't be, because what Scientology do specifically is they like to make sure that especially their high profile members are always involved, like, in stuff, right? Yeah. Her parents are Scientologists. They are literally part of what's almost like the internal Scientology police force that exists. So pretty bad, but especially when it comes to the fact that Scientology is well known and well documented for harassing horrifically any people who try to leave the church. Horrific harassment, the things that they do to people, the ways they go after people. They've destroyed people's lives, they've destroyed people's businesses, they'll try and do anything they can to, like,
keep it there.
To keep, and they'll destroy anyone who leaves Scientology, right? So, and obviously what they do is they do everything to protect them. So as we all know, Danii Madsen, who was on that 70s show, pretty high profile case, is now in prison for life, has been fully convicted of raping 2 women, is accused by many others, including the wife of the Mars Volta's lead singer. They were both Scientologists. They left the church, were horrifically abused by the church. Now, they've been going really hard about this Linkin Park thing, right? Because obviously, like, they've been through it really badly. Making it very clear that she definitely knew all about this, because that's part of the church's doctrine. Yeah. And so her going to court to support Danii Madsen is not just like, oh, I'm just going to support my friend. Like, so basically, for the listeners, like, she kind of came out with this, like, pseudo response thing where she's like, hi, I'm Emily, and, like, I'm in, and some of you don't know me. A few years ago, I went to support my friend, and I didn't know, and obviously when I found out how bad it was, I didn't, I don't support violence against women, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, with what Scientology is, that doesn't fly. It doesn't make sense. You know that people know, and you know that she knew.
Yeah.
Especially with her parents being so high up in the church as they are, right? It's literally just them trying to protect their own. So this whole like, oh, hey, I'm just Emily, I don't know about... Like, no, that doesn't fly. You're a full member, and also the fact that you didn't mention Scientology at all. The same way that many news outlets don't mention, Israel when they murder a bunch of Palestinians. They just say they were killed by something and then kind of leave it blank. It's pretty much like that. You're just leaving it blank and like... This is a bad shout from the band already. Getting a Scientologist... Like, it's getting a Scientologist involved. Was already like a really bad idea because the reality is she still is a Scientologist and there is no, she's only a bit of a Scientologist.
Yeah,
that's not how they run. That's not how they run it, right? Either you're in it or you're out, right? Because if you're out, as many people know, they go after you. So that's already a really bad look because the issue is as well is like everything else that a Scientology is accused of, right? And by the way, this is exactly the same thing you could level as, let's say they got in a hardcore Catholic lead singer. Many of their fan base would be like, especially their queer fan base would be like, that's terrible. Why are you doing that? Like, true, that's awful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, your
singer doesn't like me.
Yeah, exactly, basically. But that's what I mean. So it's kind of flying in the face of that. You've got the whole point. So the drummer's left.
And the guitar player.
The guitarist is saying he's just not going to play live, which is weird in and of itself.
Yeah.
It does feel like just really badly thought out. To me, because it's like they must have Linkin Park a massive band, like they've got
the world are coming for him on it as well.
People that they know, like they must have known like what baggage she would bring.
I don't know how they wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly right. And then the other big thing is obviously recently Chester Bennington's Kid has come out pretty heavily, very heavily actually I should say, and pretty much slammed the whole thing. One of his reasons being very interesting, Scientology doesn't believe in therapy or depression. That's one of their things. So they say that mental health is not real and that you can cure it with the weird stuff that they do where you hold on to like metal tubes and you talk about yourself and that aliens come and that's where it gets really fucking weird.
One could call that therapy too. But it's with an alien.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what they call it, the myacly. I mean, South Park did a whole fucking episode about it.
Of course,
and then they're going
to have another one.
And ended up losing one of their main voice cast members because he was a Scientologist. The voice of Chef was a Scientologist, and he left South Park because of that. And they turned around and said, "Oh, you were fine with us making fun of everyone else, and then as soon as we did your guys, then you got angry about it." So yeah, it's a really bad look, and like obviously with Chester, Chester killing himself, like the fact that then you get a lead singer in who literally belongs to a cult that doesn't believe in mental health and therapy, awful. Like, the good thing about this is, I've got to be honest, I was a bit down. I honestly thought for a bit that it was just going to sound like Mateo's come on, they're going to have another one of their like kind of weird whinges. I just want to enjoy the music. It actually looks like a lot of the fan base isn't happy about this either. Like, I agree with you. It really doesn't look like the fan base is going on board with this. And I genuinely think either her or the band is going to have to like come out with a fairly major statement even to get people on board. Because the reality is, guys, once again, we're down to that moral thing. I know that you love Linkin Park. It would be great to see Linkin Park again. The new singer, look, her voice is great. I've got to be honest, and this was before all the controversy. I didn't even know. I actually honestly did not know that she was a Scientologist and all this stuff. Yeah. I actually didn't know about that until recently. All of it's come out. I didn't know that she was one of the people that supported Danny Madison and all this stuff. Even before that, and I swear on my mother's eyes, this was true. I listened to that new track and I thought it's all right, but it's kind of mid. Because the reality is, I haven't liked Linkin Park in the last few albums. They haven't done, even when Chester, it all got a bit
very poppy.
My thing I used to say was it was really funny is you had
after Meteora went down
and Pendulum were getting heavier and heavier, and Linkin Park were getting more and more kind of poppy drum and bass. And weirdly, Linkin Park and Pendulum kind of started sounding really, really similar. It was a crossover point where they started sounding like really similar bands. So yeah, I mean, for me, like even the music wasn't that awe-inspiring that I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, if they come back and it sounded like Meteora era, you know, Linkin Park, like, oh fuck, here we go, you know. But it's just a shit show from top to bottom. It's really messy.
I don't know how they're coming back from this one.
I don't know, yeah, especially with the amount of people, especially like, and fair shout to the Mars Volta lead singer, he's really putting in work. You know, open letters, this is happening, that's happening, like, and people, and this is one that I feel like, especially like a fan base like Linkin Park's fan base, like, this is one that people aren't just going to let like sweep under the rug. You know how sometimes you get banned stuff, like look at the Oasis reunion stuff recently. Those two guys have a lot of very problematic stuff that they've done and said over the years, which is all very quickly getting swept under the rug because the mainstream press in this country can't wait for Oasis to get back together, right? So all of the problematic, like really not quite nice stuff, this especially homophobic stuff that they've said over the years has all been very quickly brushed under the rug. And everyone's just going, oh, but I love Oasis. And, you know, and a bit similar, like, it happens with Pantera, it'll happen a bit with Marilyn Manson, like all that kind of stuff. With this one, I feel like the Linkin Park fan base, especially the core fan base, is way too diverse and is way too invested in what the band used to stand for to kind of let her just come in and kind of sweep the fact that she is legitimately so strongly linked to such an abusive and problematic organisation and, you know, has, you know, big links to it. And is in no way going to leave that organisation because she's not. She won't, and she probably can't. And to be fair to her, that's the sad thing. Is even if she wanted to, like they literally.
Maybe she was using this as an out.
If she leaves, she'll never talk to her parents again.
Yeah,
that's literally what they do. That's what Scientology does. You will never speak to the family members that are still in the cult again.
Maybe she's thinking that she gets into a band big enough that
I don't know. Maybe,
she can ride the wave.
Maybe
that this is her out.
But it's a mad one, guys. It's a shame because, yeah, sure, it'd be lovely to go watch Linkin Park in London. It really would. But the reality is, guys, like this is really bad, and I think statements are being made. I think that the band's going to see that even with
they may have fucked up a bit.
They have fucked up, and I don't know. Money talks. At the end of the day, if they still sell the tour out, which they easily could, then maybe they won't care anyway, and they'll just carry on. But it's definitely, if they do that. Sadly enough, it does stain the entire legacy of the band. It really does. It really does. And it goes back to, this is the last thing I'll say, is what, obviously, I've said it a few times, is like that kind of idolization that we have of people in music. I've really lost that now. Like, I really try to, like, look at things, especially people within music, very factually, you know, because the reality is, you know, you go back through history, like in metal, in any genre of music, so many of the people we love that make music are, you know, find out they're actually really problematic people and have done some pretty heinous things. And so now, you know, when things like it's why I get that, like, if there's people there that like idolize Linkin Park, like I love Slipknot, but I don't listen, watch, or have any interest in any of the Slipknot of the last like 10 years. It doesn't interest, and that's fine. You know, kids want to go watch them live, that's fine. Want to go listen to the new stuff, that's fine. I personally, you know, I've got the first 3 Slipknot albums.
Iowa was one of your favourite ones.
You know, yeah, Iowa, love it to pieces. But you know what I mean, like. These kind of Frankenstein band thing is what you get when you get these reunions. Like, that's the reality of it. Like, you're never gonna get to recreate that Linkin Park of back in the day. That's gone. That lives in your memories. It lives in your heart. And I'm sorry if you were too young to ever see that, unfortunately. But you'll have bands in your generation that you'll see that then you'll love. You know, like that you'll love, and then, you know, the next generation they'll go, oh, I wish I was old enough to, and then they'll have their bands. So like, focus on that. Like, don't, like, this idolization of stuff, like, this is what it leads to. It leads to this kind of really, these bad decisions and bands trying to force these like reunion stuff, or these kind of like Frankenstein's monster bands still staying together even though like multiple original members have left and this is
all the original members have left.
Exactly, you know, and it's just, you just put your hands up in the air and it's just like. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a real mess, and I really think, guys, like, we might even be talking about this in 2 weeks' time. I honestly think this story's not over. I just I can't see how they're going to settle the fan base down. But they're going to have to unfuck it somehow. Whether it's getting rid of her, I don't know.
That will probably have consequences too, though.
It'll have consequences too, especially if they've recorded a whole album with her. Because what do you do with that? Because they've already obviously recorded the whole thing. You know, and then what, you get a new singer in, drop them in. Do a Thy Art Is Murder. get a new guy in, record the whole new album done. You know what I mean? It's a mess. It's a real mess. And I just want to reiterate as well, like, this kind of like, oh, I didn't know about this. I'm really sorry, but with me, that's just not flying. It really isn't flying. Like, she cannot play dumb with this. She's well aware of all the stuff that's gone on. She's well aware what the church, like, who to support and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, her parents are very high up in the organisation. She cannot play off this like, oh, it's just my little religion, or like, I don't know what's happening with this. It's like
the core of the religion is that
cases, multiple cases, horrific things. Like I said, go watch Going Clear. Go watch it. Really good documentary, and that'll explain to you, to really show you like that Scientology isn't just some funny cult that's like, ooh, what's
Yeah,
this?
it's serious and
actually
sinister.
Like a seriously sinister organisation.
We need to stop getting these problematic ones.
So, unfortunately, like I wish there would be more episodes where I could sit here and you'd say something and I'd be like, that's really cool. I
great
can't wait
news.
for that. Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah.
I don't think I actually have good news things this time. How are you with Devil Driver?
I love Devil Driver. Love Devil Driver. I know what you're
Me
going to
too.
say as well. It's not looking good, is it?
No. So Mike Spritzer, I think that's how you say his name,
Yeah.
guitar player for 20 years, has left.
Yeah.
And quoting, the band basically feels like half-time, kind of,
Yeah.
it's not a full-time
Yeah.
job anymore.
Yeah.
And a particular member in the band gave him quite a lot of crap for starting his side band.
Starting another band.
Even though said member is also gone back to his side band.
Yeah.
But anyway, we won't mention names.
Yeah. Well, you can. I mean, everyone knows who we're talking about.
Yeah. Might begin with a D.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's sad because the way he talks about it is pretty sad. Like,
He's kind of just lost
he's
love.
he's left very unceremoniously. I mean, apparently they're saying that he hasn't even talked to the other members.
He hasn't talked to Des about it at all.
Yeah.
He just went out on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it was.
Yeah,
and
just
went,
decided to blast it live, which isn't, I don't always say that that's the best way to deal with it. Maybe you should try and talk to people behind closed doors first. But maybe, unfortunately, it would seem that it gotten that bad behind the scenes with Devil Driver that you just got literally that fucking fed up with it that he was just like, well, fuck this shit.
Screw you, all of you.
Yeah. Which is sad because I really like Devil Driver.
And he was actually key to their sound. Like the typical
Yeah,
Devil Driver sound is his.
Yeah, that really crunching kind of revy riff stuff that they do. Yeah. So that's going to be tough for Devil Driver. But to be fair, I mean, he's kind of right. Like, where the fuck are Devil Driver?
I mean, they've had multiple hiatuses over the years, haven't
Exactly, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, where the fuck are they? Well, recently, where the fuck have they been?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard. I don't think when was the last time Devil Driver dropped new music? Like, fucking.
I think Des had some health issues, though.
Yeah, there's
I don't
that.
think he could travel.
True. But, like, I think just in general, like you said, it's been multiple times over there.
Yeah.
Like, Devil Driver have always been very much like a stop-start band.
Which is a shame, because I love them.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, like I said, I saw them supporting Machine Head years ago.
I think I did too, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen them a couple of times at festivals and stuff as well. Really good band. So yeah, it's
They
a
always
shame.
put on a good show.
Yeah.
I always quite liked them.
Yeah.
The other one we mentioned numerous times, the Ticketmaster upping the prices.
Well, I just brought up the
dynamic
Oasis
pricing.
thing, didn't I? So that's
what
what's
triggered
really
it.
brought it to the fore.
That's what triggered it.
What's funny is all the Taylor Swift fans are stood on the sidelines going like,
I paid $3
motherfuckers, we've
for
been
my
doing this
tickets."
for fucking years. Exactly. We've been doing this two-tiered pricing bullshit. It's a mess. I mean, it's what happens when, capitalism gets to run rampant it affects even the music. Like, the reality is, in America, Ticketmaster literally has a vice grip on all of Central America.
Yeah.
Right? Sports, music, big shows, anything like that, it's all Ticketmaster. They have a complete monopoly on anything, and if you want to buy anything, the Ticketmaster has been complained about in like the United States for years now.
Yeah, but then they got the side company of Live Nation. People thought it wasn't the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same company.
And now they've finally started making their same moves over here. Obviously, they don't have quite a vice grip over the ticket, but it's every bit like we talked about it. We talked about it with Korn.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happened. It's the same thing. Oh, look, the Korn show is really popular at 80, 90 pounds. Let's up that to 150 quid. If they sell a certain amount of tickets, we're upping it to 150 quid.
What I don't like about it is it's kind of sneaky because they're basically claiming it's dynamic pricing, which like hotels do, airlines do. It's as the demand goes up. But it's not because they could sell 10 tickets in triple the price.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
and you all know they're going to do it. Like, you knew they were going to do it because that's what Ticketmaster do. That you knew they were going to do it with Oasis. I don't even know. The Linkin Park thing's got to surely be.
That'll be Ticketmaster.
It'll be Ticketmaster as well. So yeah, it'll be. You'll be there trying to get your Linkin Park. I mean, if you're going to that show,
keep going forward.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you never know. Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll sell so little tickets, the dynamic price it won't come into.
It goes the other way.
Yeah, it goes the other way.
Please go
to Linkin Park. No, it's like it'll happen with Linkin Park as well. Like, the tickets will come out, they'll be like 100 quid, and then suddenly they'll go up to like 200 fucking quid. You know what I mean?
Apparently, this is what set it off with Oasis.
Yeah.
So the European Commission are looking into it because they think there's been a UK law broke by them doing it because basically the ticket went 5-6 times what it originally was, and people still can't get them. You're like, it's a little unfair, but equally people are paying.
But you see, though, they've just added a new show. A new show that, by the way, they're going to do the pricing for again.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's still through Ticketmaster. So they're just going to do it again. But they've just added another show in London.
Yep.
What the fuck?
So,
Also fucking Noel and Twat Gallagher's voices of the fucking so-called working class. Guys are keeping pretty fucking stum about... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they like the wad of money getting out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's already predicted that they're going to make more money from this one tour than they did off like anything in the 90s.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's fucking mad.
There was some crazy numbers thrown around about it.
And the bots thing, but Ticketmaster won't stop it. Oh, well, we've got to get Ticketmaster to stop the scalpers and the bots. They're never going to do it. They don't give a shit.
No.
They don't care. They don't care if a million bots buy like 90% of the tickets and then they all end up on other sites being sold for like 3 times the price. They don't care.
I mean, they also have that thing where you can sell it back to them, but they take a cut of the resale as well.
And then the resale shit is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, they're getting released day before kind
exactly.
of thing.
It's like all like one day before. It's like, here goes resale tickets. And once again, they'll put them at like the highest price they possibly fucking can. And it's just like, oh...
It does hurt the wallet. But maybe in a few weeks we'll be saying the European Commission have done something.
Hopefully.
It's,
you know, I thought we were out of Europe now anyway.
Yeah, why are they looking into it? Sure, it should be the UK, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to think that maybe they'll stop them. I mean, but it's that fundamental thing. The only way that it's going to stop is with government interference.
Yep.
Governments have to step in and say it is illegal for Ticketmaster and Live Nation to do what it's doing. And make a law saying you're not allowed to do that. And it's about whether governments will actually do that.
They won't.
They won't. Yeah, they'll slap them on the wrist and they'll go, oh, we won't do it again. And then they'll do it again.
On tickets, though, as we're on that approach, anyone not got their Bloodstock ticket, go buy it. It is selling out hugely quickly.
Producer Danii, no.
They haven't even announced the other bands, just the headliners, and 75% done.
75% of all tickets. That's
all
everything.
tickets.
All tickets.
So all the VIPs, campers, all gone.
VIP, camping, kids, general admission.
Yep.
And even like, that must mean like day tickets and stuff as well. So like weekend camping and day tickets. All of that 75% of all.
They're going to sell out before the end of the year as the...
I'm so glad you messaged me, by the way. Thank you for that. So Tom messaged me. He sent like he screen grabbed Bloodstock putting up they said like what is it, 80% of the pay as you go, the
deposit scheme.
The deposit scheme was gone. I managed to get in there, and then literally like within 12 hours of me getting my deposit scheme ticket, they were like, yep, that's it,
done.
those are all gone. And I was like, fuck's sake, they didn't even go up that long ago.
Yeah.
Did they? They only went up like about 2 days before.
And they actually had to add more as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they put another 2,000 tickets on.
Yeah, so if you want a Bloodstock ticket, guys, we're gonna have to chip together. We're gonna have to get Danii an early Christmas present this way, aren't we? We're gonna have to quiz in, go around. We'll sort it out, Danii. Don't worry. We love you. Yeah, because also we need you to be there so we can do a podcast from there. So.
Yeah, because we're recording on the Tuesday after it, so
yeah.
I think we should do it from there and hopefully get involved with the Metals and Masses and everything else.
Yeah, well, we're going to, aren't we? Yeah, that. So yeah, I mean, that's awesome for Bloodstock. I mean, it just goes to show, like, and once again, one of the reasons this is happening, because it's getting more popular, but what are they not doing? Trying to massively up the amount of people that are there.
Or ticket price.
Yeah, or the ticket price. They're actually keeping it like, we know we can keep a good price of these tickets at this good sized festival. We're not going to do a download and try and cram an extra 10,000 people in and then charge people an extra 150 quid. We're not going to do a Reading and Leeds where, you know, you've literally got people like camping in bushes and shit because there's no fucking room. Like, no, it's not. It's not. You've been there. It's like a fucking war zone. It's like mad, you know. You go to some of these big festivals now; it's absolutely mad, like the way that like the amount of people they're cramming into them,
and the kind of conditions that brings as well.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Oh yeah, I mean,
they should have learned from Woodstock, 97 one,
like 99. Yeah,
99.
Yeah.
Like that was just a shit show.
Yeah,
like
that's another really good that train wreck documentary on Netflix.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
actually,
it's really good. I love that one. That's so funny.
Did no drinking water, Rant, did they?
Yeah,
just
like they were all getting fucking trench foot and. Was that they were getting like the scabies gum disease because there was fecal matter in the water. Like World War One. They were getting like a World War One trench era like gum disease that like you hadn't seen since the First World War. Fucking mad.
Why is everyone rotting here? What is going on?
Literally rotting. Yeah.
So and then the only other real news that I have is the generated music from AI.
Yes,
that's weird.
Yeah, I sent you this one, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, because I was. So here's what happened was I was listening to. I liked a Guilt Trip, very good hardcore band from Manchester, and obviously I listened to them quite a lot on Spotify, and then I go on my Spotify and suddenly there's this weird like white cover with a black like kind of weird symbol, which then somebody informed me apparently is like a neo-Nazi symbol or something.
Right.
Apparently it's got some kind of neo-Nazi like symbology in it or something. Anyway, and it's like Guilt Trip have released this new song, and I was like, oh okay, clicked on it. It was like a weird like Dragon Force sounding like. Just guitar, like no vocals, like just guitar and drum stuff, and it sounded really fake. And then suddenly just popped up on my like newsfeed. It was like, this AI music thing had managed to hack Spotify and basically drop loads of big, mostly metalcore and hardcore bands.
So Fit for Not Hops were a hit, Devil Wears Prada were a hit, White Division was a hit, there was about 5 others, I think. That
it's a few.
had
Well,
major...
Guilt Trip were one of them. So yeah. I think Malevolence, which is probably where they got the Guilt Trip thing from, because they're very similar. Yeah. And it was just mad, like, and I don't know where it seems to have come and gone. Obviously, Spotify jumped on it pretty quickly.
No.
Oh, no, is it not?
I was reading about it, actually.
Tell me what's happening.
It's actually way more disgusting than we think it is, because people are generating it, and they can link it to certain accounts, like in Indonesia somewhere, basically. Yeah. And what they're basically doing is releasing the AI version of a song onto the platform. I don't know how they managed to do that part of it. Getting all the clicks, because if they put on YouTube, whatever, then they can get the links, but it goes to them, so they get money for however many views they get. And if someone goes, fit for not have to save a new song.
Like I did with
exactly. You're clicking it, right? And basically, all that happens is they find one of the sources, that gets cut, and it happens again. They just do another account and off they go again.
So what you're saying is they'll just keep on trying to re-attack Spotify every time until
they do something major about the security in it.
So they're going to have to, aren't they?
And every band that has to release it is going to have to do stuff as well, I think.
Yeah. Well, Spotify needs to... This is the thing, this is where Spotify needs to step up. I mean, they say they care about the bands and they care about the music. We know how much Spotify doesn't care about the bands or the music. But in theory, this is the part that should be fully on Spotify. This is their cybersecurity. Yeah. The bands are trusting Spotify as a platform to have their music on it. So, you know, like,
it's a crazy world.
It
is crazy that's happening. So yeah,
it's all AI generated as well. It's not even like someone's made the music. It's just AI generated, like weird kind of metal, like riff metal.
Yeah, I think the warning really is don't just auto click on something.
If you see any of these weird like things that just look like completely out of nowhere, like.
Don't click on it. Do a bit of research.
Yeah.
Go to the band website and see if they've actually, new single dropped or whatever.
Yeah.
Nuts. Anyway, shall we get on to our album review?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to do 2 today?
Oh yes, I think we do need to do 2.
I think we need to do 2. Should we start with the second one?
Let's start with the second one.
So, Danii, you've done something friggin' awesome recently.
Yes, Danii.
You've released your own album, created entirely by yourself.
Danii's trying to hide behind her hand. No, Danii.
I think we should give you a mic, to be honest. So yeah, releasing your own album, you did everything by yourself. It's a bit of a different vibe than what we've normally covered, and we'll do a bit more brutal stuff after this. It's called Machine Learning. It's 8 tracks, I think.
Yeah, technically 7 because one of them is an instrumental version of one of them, but yeah.
I actually like that one as well, the one you did an instrumental of. You're going to have to say your release name because it's got numbers in it, and that's messing with my mind.
So it's Savandroid, but it's like spelt with numbers, because I'm playing like this persona that is a robot. She's like a music machine, which is kind of funny because we've just been talking about AI stuff, and you brought up that it's like it comes across as AI, but it's definitely not. I've done all of this myself painstakingly. It was a lot of work.
You did a really good job.
Thank you.
It is so well produced.
I appreciate that. I've had like no experience with this in the past.
We wouldn't know.
What I think sounds cool, and off the back of this, I actually want to go to uni to do it properly.
I mean, congrats, and you're going to go far with it. Don't forget us when you're bigger than us.
Sorry?
Don't forget us when you're bigger than us. I liked it. Not my normal style of music, but what you've done is, hats off to you. It's fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It kind of felt like we should be in a club in Ibiza kind of level, that you could actually get the floor hopping with it, which I thought was pretty nice.
Such a sick compliment, thanks. It's actually funny because I showed it to some people out recently, and they compared it to Combi Christ, which I don't know if you guys know, but that's a huge compliment.
They're like a dancey metal, right?
Oh my god, I was very chuffed with that compliment.
That's a good compliment to have. You've kind of created electronic breakdown in a non-metal music, because it builds up and then suddenly just does the equivalent of dropping, and you're like, someone's going to be eating foam for this. So yeah, absolutely, hats off to you. Well done. Theo, you want to add anything?
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed it, Danii. Like, really nice, like dark kind of synthwavey stuff. Like you said, Tom, like the kind of brutal, like kind of breakdowns in it as well. Like it's got some heavy punch to it. Really enjoyed it. Honestly, well done. Yeah, really well done, and well done for like releasing it yourself and everything. It's a big deal.
Absolutely, and everyone should go listen to it, even if it's not your style of music. Get those views up for her.
What's the album called again?
Machine Learning.
Got to get on that. All right then. Yeah.
So it brings us on to the other album.
Finished making Danii blush. This
We didn't tell her about this
No, we
because
didn't. We kind of dropped this on her because otherwise she cuts herself out of the podcast and won't like.
and a lot of feedback I've got is they like our interactions.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And you keep on cutting bits of you when you actually talk out of the podcast, which people don't like, Danii.
Yeah, so don't cut that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, other album, as we do every episode, other than the other episodes where we go and do interviews and stuff. You know what I mean? Dave from Black City gives us random album. We listen to it, we review it, see what we think. Mm-hmm. This one, the name is bugging me. I don't know.
Tom's been struggling with this all evening.
So it's like a capital A or a triangle effect. Now, I don't know how to pronounce triangle or A-E. It's
like artist formerly known as Prince. Symbol, yeah.
But anyway, that's the name of them.
Right, go on, try and say it.
Aeffect.
Aeffect.
Aeffect?
Aeffect.
You say it, you go.
I don't know. No, me. I was just you heard the last episode. You saw about that one. I can't even pronounce actual letters, let alone there's a symbol in there as well.
So sorry about that if you're listening.
Yeah. We'll put links onto the social and stuff as well.
We will.
We'll do the links and stuff.
Album is called Theory of Mind. It was released 23. It is completely self-done again. This seems to be coming
and it's a one-person
album. The second person's a drummer.
Right, okay,
but then the other person does everything else.
Yeah, everything else, yeah.
And, I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's this... it was funny. I mentioned when we saw Humanity's Last Breath that there's this kind of impending doom sound.
Yeah.
Exactly the same with these guys.
Yeah.
And I did a bit of digging. As it turns out, they got that tone from Humanity's Last Breath.
Really?
The drummer from Humanity's Last Breath is involved.
Is he?
So yeah.
What as a drummer or
just getting the production right?
Okay, cool.
And they're getting the actual tone.
All right, that's interesting.
So yeah, and it's just this monstrous wall of sound.
Yeah.
It starts with a really slow kind of build.
Yeah.
And it just like it takes the oxygen out of the room. It just hits you in the face.
Yeah.
It's I mean, hats off to the guy because, as I said, it's basically one man band.
Yeah.
He did this entirely by himself.
Yeah.
Trying to get it out there, and the guitars are probably 8 or 9 string, I would have said, and horribly detuned in a great way. Yeah. In a great way. But they're like technical debt, I would say. Like their stuff is complex, but it's slow, so you don't have blast beats everywhere.
Yeah.
But it is just heavy. It is just straight out mind, face melting heavy. With a slow sound, which is good. And it's kind of
that's interesting. Have they got any links to any other bands then? Is this like something where they've got links to other bands or something? Or
the main guy in it used to play in 2 other bands, I think, which I forgot to write down. And I think just wanted to do his own thing, control his own music.
But that's what I mean.
Stuff.
It's like it's not like just come out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think he's probably quite established.
People who have definitely been around and they know what they're doing.
When you listen to this album, it sounds like this shouldn't be their first album.
It's as loud as fuck.
It is. It's very well done. My only complaint, we bring this up every episode, is the vocals in the back again.
Yeah, once again, like I said,
it's a thing. I think
it is. Like I said when we were talking about Coffin Mulch, last time, it's that's what the kind of death metal guys want. It's what that's how that's the death metal way is you put the vocals.
This is a shame because his vocal tone was actually very good.
And I really
liked
as a vocalist, I just struggle with it. Just come on,
put me in the front. I'm the front man.
Want to hear I just want to hear the vocals a bit more clearly.
Yeah, I'd like to. That's my only slight gripe with it, but the whole album just works really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's not really much else to say from what you've said. I mean, it's just. I mean, in a way, I mean, maybe that's the only thing is I found. It's definitely like it depends. Like you really kind of have to be into this kind of music.
It's Meshuggah hyped up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Because it's very difficult to distinguish the songs from each other for me personally.
I agree.
Anyway, so if you're not into this really heavy style of music, that's
the
all
technical
this hit you with. It's just gonna hit you. If you basically it is kind of like you said. It's almost like you kind of need to be into noise metal, to us almost it is very distorted. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you, just because purely I just kind of got a bit lost. A bit similar to what you've said in the past about with some of the albums. I just got a bit lost with this one. I just kind of, after a while, I fell out of the vibe and I kind of lost concentration a bit when I've listened to this. It was just a bit too much of
I totally agree.
One thing.
You've got an 8-minute song and it'll change 27 times in that song and you're I'm still in the same song. Alright, cool.
Yeah, cool.
And if you put on the background, it just kind of blends together in a good way.
So
but
it's good. I mean, it is really good. I guess for me, and this is why I asked about whether these guys were involved with other bands, which I wouldn't be surprised if they probably are. Like, especially now you're saying, like, obviously, they got people like, certain, like, producing and stuff like that on it. It kind of almost feels like this is a bit of a flex, like, as in, like, let's show off, like, our music, like, to see
this is what we can do,
how loud and how distorted and how mad we can do, which isn't, like, fundamentally bad, but it's, I guess, and I don't want to make this sound like I'm damning with faint praise. It kind of almost feels like this album is for other musicians.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That makes
sense.
Yeah,
like, I just don't. It'd be interesting to see it live.
Definitely.
I mean, it would be interesting to see it live for sure. I'm not even sure if this is a thing that's going to get played live, though.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't see how they could.
It feels like kind of like a studio project, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Without getting multiple session players in to help you.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I mean, maybe that is the plan. You never know. Depends. Maybe if it gets popular enough, it will go down that route, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see it live. But it is one of those things where I kind of listened to it and it felt like this was like a studio project album, which is, once again, that's not a bad thing. But it's like, cool. Good musicians are going to get together, especially two,
Yep.
And as you said, massive shout out to both of them for doing this because it is insane. But like two really good, and then they're going to kind of flex their musical muscle, like not in the sense like we're forming a band, we're going to play this live, just in a we're going to record all this.
This is what's in my head. This is a brainchild. Listen to it.
Exactly. So
and I would recommend listening to it.
I would, yeah, but I would with the caveat of you really need to be into you need to be
the extreme technical.
If you're listening, sat there going like, oh, I kind of like trying out the things. I'm really sorry, guys. This is one of the this one for sure. It's like, if you're not into like really extreme, like heavy kind of breakdown stuff, like you're just gonna get hit with the wall on this one, and yeah. So I say a solid. For me, I'm going to be honest, like a 5.5.
Oh, you really didn't get on.
It's not. That's average. That's average. Like 5.5, 6. Like I don't think I can really give a mosh pit rating because I don't think this is ever going to.
No, I don't think we'll ever see it live.
But yeah, I mean, I would say if you like this kind of music, just go. You'll love it. You'll love it. If you love this kind of music, you're gonna love it. If you don't, you don't.
I'll probably be 7.5, 8. I think.
See,
it was a really enjoyable album to listen to, but it does come with the caveats. It is quite extreme. It's quite. It's got the degenty kind of twang, everything about it. Like it's. But it was very well done to him. Like it's very good.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I think we're at the end of episode 5.
Oh, we are.
Which is we're getting there.
I know, right? Yeah. Look at us.
So
Centennial.
Gryphon, we're here. We're always going to be here.
Always be here. Always at the Gryphon.
Thank you again, John. Thank you for allowing us. Dave, thank you as always. Everyone go Black CD, buy an album. In fact, buy this album down there.
Yeah, buy that album there. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
They do have it. I checked as well. Yeah. And then come to the Gryphon and buy some pints.
Yeah.
And come to a gig. Don't forget the gig. I'm Tom, here with Theo.
Woo.
Danii, thank you for everything. Well done, the album. And we'll see you in the pits.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.